Yeah, I'm going to work out this morning. I don't look too good this morning. I know I look a mess, but gotta get this workout in, gotta get this video in. I got on a different set of Brooks today for my workout. If you watched my last video, you seen where I talked about the Brooks and working out in them, but I got a different set of Brooks on today, so I want to show y'all that. I don't know if y'all can see. Workout Brooks. But I'm forcing myself to come out here this morning. I'm just tired. Worked all weekend. If y'all watched my previous show, I talked about I titled it Late Nights and Early Mornings. Y'all, I had really late nights. Like, I'm a single mom. I have 4 kids, 4 babies, not just kids, babies. I got 4 kids. My oldest is 5. And so, between working, getting them up for school, I got 4 that I have to get them up for school where the baby goes to Kids Academy. And Kids Academy is pretty much it's like preschool. And they have regular school, like they got kindergarten, and it's just pretty much like a school. But as a single mom with 4 kids, I just be really tired. I be really beat, and it just takes a lot out of me. It drains a lot out of me. And this journey that I'm on, this journey that I'm embarking on, it takes a lot out of me mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. A few months ago, about 2, almost 3 months ago, my whole life had changed. I would say it changed for the better, but even saying that it changed for the better, it's a lot to be a single mom with 4 kids. But you know, God spoke to me. God told me one day, he said, and I know that weeping endures for the night and the sun rises in the morning. And it does. This change that I have made, I find myself in a happier place in all areas of my life. But faith without work is dead. So I still have to put in that work, even though I have the faith, and even though I know everything is getting better and everything is changing for the better, I still have to put in that work. And but God spoke to me a few weeks ago, and he told me, he said, you know, he's gonna do great things in my life, and he's gonna turn my life around, which he already has turned my life around. He already has. But he spoke to me. He said, I'm gonna do great things in your life, and I'm gonna turn your life around for the better, because you were obedient, and you did what I told you to do. You did what I told you to do. And but that don't mean expect fireworks. That don't mean expect everything that I ever wished for and everything that I ever dreamed of to come true. Being obedient doesn't mean you're going to get everything your way, when you want it your way, and how you want it your way. That's not what being obedient to God means. It's not expecting fireworks. And I talked about that if you go back to my YouTube channel and you look at one of my shorts that I posted, I talked about that life doesn't mean because you do what God says do, and you're obedient, that you're going to have, boom, fireworks in your life. That's not what living as a Christian means. That's not what following Christ means. Because when Christ was obedient to his Father, and he had to take that trip to Mount Calvary, and I talk about Mount Calvary in one of my shorts also, it wasn't fireworks for him. He was obedient. He did what his Father told him to do, which was get to Mount Calvary. And we all know that trip that he took to Mount Calvary was not an easy trip. It was not an easy trip. And then when he actually got to Mount Calvary, they stretched him wide and they hung him so high. And so I just have to remember that as I continue on this journey in my life, that it's not going to be fireworks. Everything's not going to be 100% how you want it. It's not going to be an easy road, an easy trip, because it wasn't for Jesus Christ. It wasn't an easy road, an easy trip for him. So why should I expect it to be an easy trip for me? So when I talked about the late nights and the early mornings, on one of my shorts on my YouTube channel, y'all go back and watch my YouTube channel, watch my videos, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So when I talked about late nights and early mornings, it's just to say that, you know, this is a part of my journey. This is a part of my walk with Christ. Every day is not going to be easy, but it's all going to be worth it. It's all going to be worth it. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. So today I'm back out here to get another workout in. Working out, it just does something for me, not only physically, but it does something for me mentally, and it does something for my it just does something for my soul to be able to just work out, just walk freely. And today I'm gonna actually try to run. I haven't ran in months, but I'm tired, but the cross is my cross is what's gonna carry my burdens. You know, when I get tired and I get weary, and I just have to remember to lay all of that on the cross, lay all of that at my cross, put it all on my cross, pick that cross up and carry that cross and walk with that cross, and know that Christ is gonna, like, when I feel like I don't have enough energy or I don't have enough strength, Christ is gonna restore me. He's gonna renew me. He's gonna redeem me, and he's gonna continue to give me that strength and that push that I need. And that's not something that I tell myself. That's something that I know. I know. You know, when you know, you know. And that's something that I know. God hasn't failed me. He's never failed me. Even when I thought that he had left me and that he had forsaken me, when he finally pulled me through whatever it was that I was going through, whenever I was going through it, and I looked around and I was like, Christ, he carried me through this. He pulled me through this. And this season in my life, and I'm not gonna lose my faith. You know, I once went through what you would call a crisis of faith, and I'm gonna talk about that. At one point in my life, I had went through a crisis of faith. I had completely gave up on God. I had completely gave up on Christ. I thought that he had left me, he had abandoned me, he had forsaken me. And I remember at one point in my life, I cried out and I said, God, why have you left me? You told me that you would never leave me, that you would never forsake me. Where are you? And I had went through a period in my point of life where I was in a crisis of faith. But to say that, when after God has brought me out of the last season of my life, when I look back at what he brought me out of and where I am today, as a Christian, I said I would never lose that faith again. I would never lose that faith again. And I'm not gonna do that. That's one thing I'm standing on. That's one thing I'm standing on. I said, come what may, you know, let the storms come, you know, let them come. Let the valleys and the mountains come. So I'm not gonna lose that faith like I once did. And I was like, if God were to ever take, God can take everything that means the most to me, everything that means that gives me hope, my kids, you know, whatever it is. I was like, I'm always gonna keep that faith in him. I'm always gonna, you know, stand on what my faith. I'm always gonna stand on that. God has been a wonderful God to me. He has moved mountains in my life. He has pulled me out of some of the deepest valleys that I could think of. And, you know, he has pulled me over those hills. And when I talk in my short on my YouTube page, when I talked about I'm headed for Mount Calvary, that pretty much means I'm gonna do whatever I can to, like, so when my time on this earth is over with, and when God calls me home, I'm gonna be able to stand at those gates on top of that mountain. And that's what I meant by when I said I'm headed for Mount Calvary. And Mount Calvary is the mountain in which Christ died for our sins, you know, where they stretched him wide and they hung him high. And he was on Mount Calvary. And when I say when I talked about in my shorts that I'm headed for Mount Calvary, like when my time is up, that's where I want to be. So I don't know, that was just a little quick little chit chat with you all. Sometimes I like to show the real and raw me, because that's what my YouTube channel is about. My YouTube channel is about letting my subscribers and letting my supporters in on who I am as a Christian, as a woman, as a follower of Christ. I'm going to let y'all know, and sometimes y'all going to get the real and the raw Sheena. You just are. And I may look rough. I ain't going to lie. I be looking rough most days. Finna go out here and work out, you know. But it's okay. It's okay. I look rough, but I'm still pretty. But, okay. So y'all tune in for more videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.